for all in attendance. Thank you. And now if I can direct your attention to the court, introducing tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Dover-Sherborn Raiders. Number 0 at forward, Captain Sam Weissman. Number 3 at guard, Mariano Julian. Number 5 at guard, Captain Roman Sullivan. Number 15 at forward, Oliver Van Ryn. And number 24 at guard, Quinn Daly. The third head coach is Rick Grady. And now for your Westwood Boys. Number 1 at guard, Hayden Ryan. Number 2 at guard, Captain Number 4 at guard, Captain Adrian Ortiz. Number 5 at forward, Captain and number 23 at forward, Captain Westwood's head coach is Ryan Douglas. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at this time, would you please rise and remove your caps? Let us all face the American flag as one. In a symbol of unity, we honor America, singing along to the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, Westwood, and welcome to Bader Gymnasium for a TVL matchup between the visiting Dover-Sherborn Raiders and your Westwood Wolverines. And there's nothing funner, folks, than the game right before the break, the holiday season break, and both teams looking to get a win to go into break with a nice win on their belt going into the new year with some good movement. And joined as always, Tom Lydon. We have Evan Cardamino on camera. Also have Talia Reese here. Tom, how are we feeling tonight? And welcome.
Morgan, great to be here. Evan, great to be with you. Talia, welcome to the now quartet that's going to call this game. And it was great to be here on Sunday. A really impressive showing against Norwood. Don't know how good the Norwood team is. I do anticipate Dover-Sherborn's probably going to give these guys a little bit more of a test, but looking forward to it. The Den is here. Going to be a fun night.
Absolutely. They're starting to trickle in. They got the Santa hats on, some costumes as well. I see Murphy O'Malley as Elf. Love to see it. Dover-Sherborn gets the opening tip-off, and they're going to start their offense as they're going left to right across the screen. Wolverines and some aggressive defense here early on. A foul called on Robert Liriano Alejandro, and let's put the spotlight on him, Tom. Watched him against Norwood. We saw him all last year. I'm going to go ahead and say he is a bona fide superstar.
When you lose as many people as Westwood lost from 2025 to 2026, you question who's going to step up. And on Sunday, it was clearly Liriano. He's been the leading scorer in each of the first 2 games. He led the Wolverines in their season opener against Holliston. They won that game by 3. And then he was really the man who took charge of a very sluggish first quarter against Norwood. So he seized the opportunity. I anticipate there's going to be a lot of defenses who are adjusting to his ability to really put stats on the score sheet.
No question about it. Liriano there with a 3-pointer. A little long on that one. Wolverines come away with the rebound. Working the ball around. Ty Pendel, record holder for career touchdowns at Westwood High School. Oh, excuse me, touchdowns in a year with 35, I believe. I think it was 3 after he tied, but we will confirm. As Dover-Sherborn trying to be the first team to get on the board here. Working around the far side. That's a 3-pointer. That's long. That was off the hands of number 3, William Mariano. And wow, talk about athletic.
Did you get that, Ev?
Robert Liriano Alejandro was run out of real estate, able to jump over the chairs.
Is Jen T in here? She's going to start recruiting for the track season.
No, well, Coach Lyons. Coach Lyons, I mean, he saw Roman Grilly last year, and he turned him into an all-league hurdler, which is one of the hardest things to do.
There you go.
And out of bounds.
This is where they should be chanting, "We're not playing."
Both teams trying to get their rhythm going.
Yeah, similar to what we saw on Sunday, it was a very sluggish start to the game. Took a long time for both teams to get the cobwebs out, but then once Westwood got heated up, that offense kept going. Pendel didn't really get scoring until the third quarter on Sunday.
8 points in the second half for Pendel. 16 points in the game for Liriano Alejandro. And that's a shot in the paint, no good, rebounded by Pendel. Pendel gets on the board with a rebound as Westwood looking to push the pace. Chalongwa out to Ortiz, who's driving to the net. Going to send it right back out to Liriano Alejandro. But one of the first things Coach Douglas said about, you know, the preseason and what he saw from his guys was, he said, Rob Liriano Alejandro in fantastic shape. He looks like he's probably about 2% body fat right now. And he was working hard, and that is a foul and 1. And Wolverines on the board and going to shoot for 3.
When you think about what Eli Ifra did as the point guard for this Wolverines team last year, it was almost everything. Yeah. And Aiden Rodman didn't get a lot of opportunity to play last year, so he's really also seized the opportunity. He has to get everybody to believe in him. You know, not only is he going to be able to distribute the ball, but he's showing here that he could also contribute shooting, driving, scoring, and then finishing off a 3-point play.
And similar theme, I guess I'd say the theme for the Wolverine team is they do a little bit of everything. You got guys, you have guards who can rebound. He's a guy that's kind of brings that Matt Preedy component where he'll dive for loose balls on the court. He does not worry about getting bruises to get possessions. And a 3-pointer for the Raiders, and they'll take a 1-point lead. Or no, they'll tie it up at 3, excuse me. That was off of number 15, Oliver Van Riesen. Alejandro Liriano, no good there. Picked up by Quinn Daly. And a battle.
There we go.
Wolverines come away with it on a foul, which is interesting.
Yeah, right. It was a breakaway opportunity.
Yeah.
Unimpeded to the basket. They're not going to call that this early in the game, but if that similar situation had arisen with, say, 5, 6, 7 seconds left in the tie game, you could imagine this place be going crazy calling for that unimpeded to the basket call.
But a good foul, and for that instance for DS. Westwood's going to work the ball in. Rodman. It's over to Ortiz. Ortiz driving. Holds on it. Off to Rodman, back to Ortiz, who's open behind the arc. Short there, but Pendel comes away with the rebound. Off the glass. Rebounded again by the Wolverines. So good anticipation by the Wolverines.
Yeah, we haven't seen Ortiz break out yet offensively, but what I like to see is the person who, you know, doesn't make the shot but doesn't give up on the play, and it was Ortiz who ultimately corralled that loose ball.
Chalongwa under the hoop. That's blocked, but a foul. That's a great point, Tom. It reminds me of golf when you hit a really bad putt past the hole. Good golfers will watch that because they'll see the break.
Don't miss it coming back.
But bad golfers will just, you know, kind of, you know, woe is me, and they miss the break and they don't care about trying to make the par coming back. So Chalongwa going to shoot. I don't know where that came from.
That came from the DS student section is what it did.
That is
You know, Leo's going to be on the line a lot this year, and we saw that again on Sunday. He's going to be a person in the paint gathering rebounds, so he's going to need this part of his game to be consistent.
Second one short, but back into Leo's hands. Gonna give it over to Liriano Alejandro, working his way towards the hoop, goes up, no good, rebounded by DS. Julian Mariano, his second rebound of the game. We're still tied up at 3. Westwood, some aggressive defense, doing a good job keeping DS to the outside, really no room to work with as they keep that perimeter firm. Shot attempt, no good. Loose ball. Won by DS, and gonna roll it back to one of their open guys behind the arc. 3, no good. Liriano Alejandro comes away with it. Pushing the pace, driving to the hoop, off the glass. Beautiful rhythm by Robert as he was getting the rebound, took it right to the hoop for 2.
Good D right there by Rodman, forcing that turnover.
Yep.
Ultimately up quick here to Liriano.
Liriano driving to the hoop. He took some contact, goes out of bounds, gonna stay with Westwood.
But that whole opportunity was born because of Rodman's aggressiveness.
Yeah.
You know, he was putting pressure on the point guard, forced the point guard to pass it.
It's like a D tackle getting after the quarterback. Shot by Liriano Alejandro, no good. Gets the rebound, driving, going 1 versus 4, and he makes the bucket.
Picking up right where he left off on Sunday, just creating some space there, leaning in, giving himself the opportunity to create space and shoot.
And that just aligns with what we were talking about when it comes, he can score from anywhere. Such a dangerous scorer, not afraid to go to the physical areas on the court, also has range. Yes, working it around. Trying to keep it on the outside of the perimeter, out of bounds, gonna stay with DS. But Westwood really picking up the aggressiveness on defense. Forcing some passes, as Tom mentioned, the instance with Rodman forcing that turnover by putting some pressure on. Same theme going around with the Wolverine defenders. Ortiz, man on ball, and a good shot there. Julian Mariano with a nice shot there. Gets DS to within 2. Westwood up 7-5, 2 minutes 50 remaining here in the first quarter. Ortiz looking down low to Chalangwa, but mishandles that, and DS comes away with the ball. They're looking to drive it to the net, off the glass, no good. Chalangwa gets the rebound, sending it up to Liriano Alejandro. He's got Pindell to his left, takes it to the hoop, and he is fouled. He's so good at those coast-to-coast rushes, even in traffic, and even when he has no room to go to the hoop, he finds room.
The best thing I've seen so far from the Wolverines is that if they make a mistake on one end, they're not letting it carry over to the other end.
I love that.
You know, Leo had the ball slip through his hands there, and then he's the one who ultimately led the opportunity for this ball to get in Liriano's hands.
So checking in for Chalangwa is Brady Lipton, senior, had a terrific game versus Norwood the other day, and he's been a very good surprise for the Wolverines here, coming up from the JV program from last year. Did I say, Tom, pride of the maze?
You typically do.
Short street in the maze. Some great athletes on that street. As Westwood right back to pushing the defensive pressure.
You should live on Tall Street. That's a bit of an oxymoron.
DS looking inside and no one there. So another great effort as Liriano Alejandro putting the pressure and forced a pass there that goes out of bounds. As Wolverines have the ball in the possession, working it in. Up 3 with 2 minutes 11 remaining here in the first quarter. Ortiz going back and forth with Rodman. So Robert inside to Pindell, to Lipton. Lipton going back to Pindell. Liriano Alejandro going in the paint. Lipton there. No good. What a battle there. We're going to have a jump ball. See where the possession arrow is. And it's going to stay with the Wolverines. Nice battle there.
Only 2 seconds on the shot clock, so they got to make a quick decision
It's
here.
got to be a catch shot. Catch,
there it
and there's
is.
the shot. Oh, just wide right. Will be a DS ball. It looked good. It had the distance, just a little wide right. And DS will have the possession.
You know, interesting, very different from Sunday's game. I thought Sunday's game, the teams couldn't shoot, couldn't score.
Yeah.
This is good defense. That's
Yes.
why the score is low.
Yeah, it's not because of rust. It's because of really good aggressive defense, and right there, a good contested defensive play by Ortiz. And Robert's going to come away with a rebound. Look to shoot, going to work it in. Looks for Pindell. Pindell down low to Lipton. That goes out. Going to stay with Westwood. But I like the movement so far. You know, that it's unpredictable. You know, they're not just throwing it to the same guy, shot from where. They're going inside, outside, shooting from the outside, working it inside, the paint, driving, seeing a little bit of everything. Robert working inside, looking for Lipton, but ends up in the hands of Rodman, who gives to Ortiz, driving. That is off the rim, again off the rim, gets 2 rebounds, and then out of bounds, going to be a DS ball. But great effort by Ortiz, keep battling for his own rebounds, second efforts.
They're going to fall for him. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of time, and I'm glad that he just keeps shooting. I like to see him stay in there. I'm glad he's staying in the game here because I'd like to see him get a couple more opportunities to shoot the ball before this quarter ends.
So getting used to the DS roster. It's not in numerical order, so trying to find the numbers, it takes a little time for me. But Julian Mariano, as he's driving to the hoop, takes a bounce off the rim, hits the court, out of bounds, staying with DS. And DS going to make some changes. Danielle Akram coming in. He's replacing number 4, Joel Sterling. We're inside the last 30 seconds here of the first quarter. Shot from the outside, off the front rim. Goes out of bounds off Westwood. Going to stay with Westwood, or excuse me, going to stay with DS.
So shot clock is off now. DS could run this down to the buzzer. I don't foresee them doing that, but they could do that.
Inbound to Mariano. And up top to Saber. Saber driving. Great defense by Rodman. Forces it outside as Ortiz man on ball. Akram, nowhere to go.
5 seconds,
and there we go. Terrific defense by the Wolverines, earning the turnover there. And they're going to have it with 11 seconds left here in the first.
You know, and it could be argued right there. If you're going to do that, you might as well sit on the ball and set up one play with 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, wait for
And
that.
that way you have the final shot of the quarter.
Yeah.
It could be a big swing here, as many as 6 points.
Absolutely. The shot clock winding down. McGowan in the paint. Count it! Teddy McGowan gets the drive to fall and puts the Wolverines up 10-5 after 1. And a great finish for the Wolverines, as you mentioned, Tom. That's a difference maker. So after 1 quarter, Wolverines up 10-5. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. I wasn't the star quarterback or the Tri-Valley League MVP. I was the guy in the back of the room, learning from the best, filling in where my team needed me. And as a team, we won 2 Super Bowl championships. These years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, the backups, the younger players, they complete the team. And that's the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team. Built on discipline, sacrifice, and trust, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, not just the All-Stars, but every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me, it built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Wolverines up 10-5 after 1. Great finish. Teddy McGowan getting that last second bucket. But Tom, what did you like that you saw so far?
Well, I love the fact that that was a quick 4-point swing right there. DS had the opportunity to shoot the last shot of the first quarter, chose not to. Westwood took advantage. I do want to also take advantage of this quick break to, put our fourth person in the booth on the spot.
Yes.
Talia Reese is a junior at Westwood High School, and she's done a great job writing for us at westwoodlivingsports.com. And she says, wait, I'm going to talk? What's going on? Talia, how are you?
Good, how are you?
It's great to have you up here with us, and this is probably the first time you've ever observed a game in this way.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your takeaway of the first quarter watching it from this vantage point?
It's definitely fast, and the den is on point.
Yes.
But yeah, it's really cool because I can see the numbers really well, and I can see the action from here. It's really nice.
I think this is the best seat in the whole building right here.
I do too. All right, well, feel free to chime in when we aren't yapping because we're happy to
Okay.
have you with us. Talia is going to have the wrap-up, the post-game wrap-up on westwoodlivingsports.com, so we're all just going to work
Stay
together
tuned.
here.
Mariano gets the bucket there and gets within 3. So Westwood lead is now 10-7. And now Wolverines working the pressure down low. That ball is blocked by DS. It's a great block by number 15. I don't see, Oliver Van Rijgen.
And then Sabres able to convert that the next time down. So a 1-point game now with DS coming out strong here in the second quarter.
McGowan in the paint. Right back where he left off, and he draws the foul. So a very comfortable area for McGowan, as he's going to shoot too. So one of the things Coach Douglas said about McGowan in the preseason was fantastic athlete, great rebounder. And it kind of reminds you, rebounding isn't just about size. A lot of it is about anticipation and just wanting to go up and get it.
One of the things I was kind of amazed about really is that across the entire school, Teddy is the only varsity football, basketball, and baseball player. That was commonplace
Really?
when I grew up. He's
Yeah,
the only
those
one.
are the 3, yeah.
Football, basketball, baseball.
Well, it's because I'll have to say this, Tom, me being a hockey guy, I think that hockey is a very popular sport in town as well.
Yep, a lot of hockey players.
And there's a lot of hockey-baseball mix. DS pushing the pace the other way. Gowan made the second. Working it down low. No good on that shot. Liriano able to get a hand on the possession. Wolverines come away with it. Nice play by Liriano, able to draw the steal. He's going to slow down the pace, wait for his players to get back in the play. The Wolverines 2-point lead here in the second quarter. Tom Lyde, Morgan Donio, Talia Reese, Evan Cardomino here. Westwood Media Center action. Westwood Boys Basketball shot by Rodman from the outside, rebounded by Lipton. Nice rebound by the senior. And a 3-point look by Ortiz is good.
Knew it was coming. When
No
you're
question.
a shooter, you just got to keep shooting, and Adrian had not buried any until that shot right there.
Oh, and the ball goes off Ortiz. Kind of reminds me of and this does not comparing Ortiz to Brett Favre, but Brett Favre, he could throw 4 interceptions in a row and it didn't matter. He was still slinging it, But having that mindset of not being afraid to shoot no matter what.
Shooter's got to shoot.
Yeah. Inbound by DS. Work that around. They have an open player in the far corner. No good. Short. Ball hits the ground. And then Alejandro comes away with it. 2 turnovers in 1 minute for him. And they're going to say Pindell stepped on the baseline out of bounds. But what versatility by Robert. We've talked about the rebounding, we've talked about the shooting, the scoring, but the steals are just as impressive. Nowhere to go, and here we go again. Oh, and they're going to call a foul.
That's a good call. And probably unnecessary at that point with the ball on the ground. I know he was looking to create some space and give him the shot to get the loose ball, but Robert called with the hook there.
They compete, fantastic compete level out of him, which is imperative for leaders. I mean, Kathy Delaney-Smith says, your best players need to be your hardest working players if you want to succeed.
Because everyone's watching.
Yeah.
It's not just the people in the stands, it's the people on the bench, and it's the people who are the best players who are trying the hardest.
A shot from the outside by Sam Weitzman.
You can bet your bottom dollar that when it's your opportunity to come off the bench, you're going to be hustling.
Absolutely. It's accountability, too. It's an accountability thing where if your best players are your hardest working, they're holding themselves accountable, which makes everyone want to hold themselves accountable. And Weitzman's going to get the bucket for DS to get to 11. So Wolverines 14, DS 11. Pindell finding Ortiz in his corner right there. A little long. Heading towards out of bounds. I'm going to say out of bounds. That was right where Ortiz made his first one. Maybe just a little further to the left than his bucket, but good look there.
So wholesale changes here for the Raiders, so I would anticipate they would look to up the pace a bit.
Yep.
Ryan's going to offset it here by bringing in Leo at the next dead ball, but as of now, Dover-Sherborn definitely has some fresher legs on the court.
Shot from the outside, no good. Mariano, and then Liriano Alejandro comes away with it. Shot from the corner by Zaneski, back rim. So a couple back rims swapped by both teams as they're looking to push the pace. Get some buckets, and that is a good three from the outside. Smooth shooter right there. Oliver Van Rijgen, the lefty. It's like a Christian Leitner type shot. Zaneski looking inside to Pindell. Pindell down low to McGowan off the glass.
Those two used to that old pitch and catch.
Yeah, they've done that a couple times. What a year both of them had on the gridiron this year. What a game in that last game of the season, Thanksgiving. Wolverines come away with a turnover. Ortiz settles it, finds Robert off the glass. No good. Pindell on the rebound. Gets his own rebound. McCown with the effort.
Ridiculous. Somebody
Fourth
put it
attempt. And then Roberts fouled. So fourth, fifth attempt, and then fouled. Gotta love the effort there, though. They kept on it. Loose balls, making sure that it was going to be theirs and only theirs. And Roberts going to go to the line to look to add to Westwood's 2-point lead. First one is nothing but net.
Give Ryan Douglas a lot of credit. This is basically a whole new team.
Yeah.
And we're just 3 games in. We're still pre-Christmas. And I like what I see in terms of their familiarization with each other.
Yeah.
They have familiarity, I guess is the right word, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I can speak. But that's coaching. And that's these guys committing to themselves and committing to getting to know how each other play.
But great job by the bench. So the bench goes in there and certainly had their impact. Teddy McGowan having a couple buckets. And, you know, you got fresh legs right back out there, the starters. Mariano takes it to the net, and he scores for 2 to get within 2. Rodman pushing it down into DS territory as the Wolverines get set up. Robert over to Rodman. Rodman takes a step in, finds Chalungwa, and unable to keep the hands-on ball there and goes out of bounds. Those are tough passes in traffic down low. Certainly gets better, you know, through time, but some tough ones to handle, no question.
Bas Ganson in for the first time today for the Wolverines, number 3.
Number 3, okay. Saw a little bit of him in the Norwood game, did a terrific job, some late buckets. That shot is short. Second attempt, no good. Blocked by Pindell, but called for the foul. And he doesn't like it, I don't blame him. Looked like a clean block from here. And going to line for DS is Sam Weitzman, going to shoot 2. First one is good. Joel Sterling coming into the game. He's going to replace Oliver Van Rijgen. Second shot from Weitzman off the back iron. Pindell with the rebound. Nice rebound by Pindell. As the Wolverines work it around, Ganson out to Zaneski. Nice catch by Zaneski. And shot from the outside. That's off the back rim. Loose ball. DS gets the rebound. Pindell battling though over there. He got a hand on the pass. But DS able to recollect, and they're going to call a timeout. So a timeout called. Wolverines up 1 with 2 minutes 56. And Tom, you know, if you're head coach Ryan Douglas, what do you? What's your message to the squad right now?
I'm telling these guys to take a deep breath, but at the same time, when there's an opportunity to run, run.
Yeah.
Because this game will swing based on who can seize control of those momentum plays.
Yeah.
Do you force a turnover, fill a lane, get a layup? Maybe draw some contact, make it an N1.
Yeah. And you have the den here. they've been a little quiet, the last 5 minutes. You got to find reason to get them loud, make it feel like home, which, early on it felt like that, but last few minutes or so it's felt a little quiet, which I got to ask Talia, so far, who gets the vote for best dressed in the den, if we had to vote right now?
Definitely Murph.
Yeah, Buddy the Elf is that's commitment.
Now, who's up there 5 rows up, all the way to the left, wearing what looks like a gingerbread?
I think that's a sophomore. I'm not quite sure the
It's a
name.
strong showing.
Is
That's
that
someone who's not afraid.
Is that Castaldini? Is that Nico?
Yeah, I think
Looks
so.
like it might be Nico. I can't tell if that's gingerbread or a reindeer.
Oh my!
Because I could see reindeer as well. But love the commitment. You got to go all in, and I'd have to say Murph is the leader in the clubhouse, though, as Buddy the Elf. Shot from the outside by DS is good.
Three-pointer.
And they have their first lead of the game. So they are the first team to get to 20, up 20-18. So a nicely drawn up play by DS coming out of the timeout. Take their first lead of the game. Wolverines looking to answer. Ganson looks over to Rodman. 2 capable point guards in the game with Rodman and Ganson who can help move the ball around as Pindell's driving to the hoop. Nice physical play. And that was what made Pindell a TVL All-Star last year, is being able to move in the paint. He could shoot it from, the 8-10 feet, but also not afraid to get physical.
Yeah, he can also hit the score button. We saw that in the third quarter against Norwood, where all of a sudden he exploded.
That's a blocking foul on Wolverines.
That's a tough one. If you're going to take that contact, you want to get credit for it.
Yeah.
Dylan, unfortunately, gets banged for the foul.
Yeah, in the Norwood game, there was a couple hard foul. Rob hit the wood, and it sounded like, bone straight on wood. These guys are tough kids. I'd take a week off if I hit the wood like that. As DS driving to the hoop, miss on the pass in the middle, but they're able to recollect it. Started up top as they work around. Open 3, short. Zaneski with the rebound, but a whistle on the court. Is that a foul?
Yeah, on 23, Sam Almeida.
And then also a hard foul on Chalangwa last in Norwood.
Things got a little chippy.
Yeah,
when it's a border battle like it is with Norwood, those games, don't forget last year's went right down to the buzzer, so there was a full crowd here on Sunday, and tempers were flaring a little bit.
They were. They did a good job of, calming down pretty quickly as that shot from Pindell's a little long. Zaneski comes away with it. Finds Ganson off the back rim. A nice rebound by Joel Sterling. Went up and got it. Mariano over to the top of the key. Shot from there, no good. Steven Saber, he's had a few points. Chalangwa to the net, that's blocked, but Pindell on the rebound. No good. And Zaneski
There we go.
gets the steal. Pushing it over to Rodman. Rodman gonna shoot it himself. That's long. Out of bounds, and it's gonna be a DS ball.
They're looking for the video review on that one, and here it comes over for the other officials going to
They're gonna
overturn that
No,
call.
It's overturned. What was that, the player on the Lakers who literally brought the camera over to the ref, and the ref teed him up?
I
He's like-
remember that. I don't remember who it is.
I think it was Beverly, Patrick Beverly.
Yes.
I'm like, that's a
That's
legendary
fitting.
move.
That's fitting.
Absolute legendary move. Like he got a tech before the guy even saw the picture. Pass inside to Pindell. He's going to go outside. Ganson over in the corner to Zaneski for 3. Got it! Wolverines back with the lead, up 3. 43 remaining.
It's a Zaneski rainbow. He throws that sucker up there. It comes down with rain.
Oh, and a
what
good
a
hand out
steal.
of Ganson with the steal. Chalangwa going towards the hoop. And we got a dunk! Leo Chalangwa two-hands it! And the den is fired up. That was the first thing I said before the game, Tom, was love to see a dunk tonight.
Send it in, Leo!
Leo! Wolverines up 5 after that dunk. 10 remaining here in the first half. As Rodman working it towards the hoop with the clock winding down, no good. And that will take us to the half. So after one half of basketball, Westwood 25, Dover-Sherborn 20. Any final thoughts, Tom, before we take a quick break?
Well, let's see if we can build on the momentum there of Leo's big dunk with less than 30 seconds to play. Nice turn of events here after Dover took the lead at 20-18. Westwood ran on a 7-0 run there, so just what you're looking for before you hit the locker room.
No question about it. So stick around, folks. You're watching Westwood Boys Basketball on Westwood Media Center. We'll be right back after a quick break.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. I wasn't the star quarterback or the Tri-Valley League MVP. I was the guy in the back of the room, learning from the best, filling in where my team needed me. And as a team, we won 2 Super Bowl championships. These years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, the backups, the younger players, they complete the team. And that's the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, built on discipline, sacrifice, and trust, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, not just the All-Stars, but every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me, it built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Both teams on the court after a quick message from their respective coaches as they're getting a quick warm-up in before we kick off the third quarter. Tom Lyde, Morgan Donahue, Talia Reese, Evan Cardomino, and we got the full squad here tonight. And Talia, some of your thoughts that you saw from the first half.
Yeah, Dover-Sherborn definitely comes out hot after the breaks, ranking up the score right after they get that coach play that we see right now.
Yeah.
But Westwood seems to have some endurance carrying that fire through the round and racking up some buzzer beaters.
Yeah, they've done well down end of the first quarter and end of the second quarter. Let's get you caught up with who scored what. Sam Weitzman has 3 for Dover. Steven Saber has 2. Julian Mariano has 9. He leads the way for the Raiders. Oliver Van Riek has 6. And for the Wolverines, Aiden Rodman has 3. Robert Liriano has 6. Adrian Ortiz has 3. So does Dylan Zaneski. Leo Chalangua with the big 2 that people are still talking about. We've heard from Andy working the score table here that it's the first dunk he's seen by a Wolverine in the 4 years he's done that job. So great job by Leo. And then Teddy McGowan off the bench with 5 points. So we're sitting here 25-20 as we start the third quarter.
Which I have yet to see I got to see the other side of the new scoring table.
Oh, it's sweet.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, it's very slick.
And Tom, Talia, one thing I forgot to mention. So early on, these Wolverines, they were battling through flu. I guess it was very, aggressive at the high school level, where the girls' team was going through the flu. Girls hockey as well. So Wolverines starting to get their feet as Robert gets quick basket. But all the teams are kind of battling the flu, and it's taking them a little bit. Now they're starting to get their feet going, and really the endurance is picking up. So quick bucket for Liriano Alejandro. Puts the Wolverines up 7 here early in the second half. Diaz working outside. Liriano gets a hand on it, but Diaz able to recollect it. He's been able to get a lot of hand-on balls. If it hasn't been turnovers, he's made it very difficult. There we go. Great defense by the Wolverines, forced a mishap shot there.
If there was a message by Ryan Douglas in the locker room, I'm sure it was this: good defense will lead to offensive opportunities. We've already seen the aggressiveness, which was impressive in the first half, even picked up a further notch here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, hockey, we always talk about good offense comes from a clean breakout on defense. When you're coming out of breakout your own end with speed, you're going into the zone the right way, and that's how you take it to the net. Look inside to Chalangua, in and out. Goes out of bounds, will stay with Westwood, went off DS. he can get up to that hoop pretty quickly. What an athlete. He's a twin. So Alessia Chalongwa, the goaltender for girls soccer. She was a terrific goalkeeper for the Wolverines the last few years. As Diaz comes away with a steal, as they work it towards the hoop, blocked! Woo! Chalongwa, both ends of the court, getting it done. Clean block. Does go out of bounds, so it will stay with Diaz. But great effort. Love to see that, playing all ends of the court.
And before we're too far removed from it, congratulations to Alessia. She just announced she's going to be going to Brown next year.
Oh, Charlie Donahue will love that, and that is a bucket for Diaz. And the foul. Nice play there by Sam Weitzman.
Now, keep your eyes on this. That's the third foul on Robert Liriano Alejandro, so we'll see how far Ryan wants to ride him here with 3 fouls early in the third quarter in a tight game.
Completes the three-point play is Weitzman. Get Diaz within 4. Robert going to pick it up and dish it off to Rodman. They're going to go back and forth. They're going to have to hurry to get across the line, which they do. Never want to get that 5-second, which you don't see too often, but we see it at least a couple times a year, Tom. There's Rodman. Works it over to Ortiz. Out to Rodman. He's got a hand in his face. Foul called on Mariano. That is a non-shooting foul. So Westwood will keep the possession as they'll just add another foul to Mariano and 1 foul closer to the team fouls, but that's only their first one of the third quarter. Wide open Liriano makes a nice move going to the hoop, hands it off to Chalongwa. Chalongwa's got 3 or 4 guys on him. Nice move inside, draws the foul. Nice play by Chalongwa, and also unselfish play by Robert. I would have shot that if I were him. He looked pretty open.
He dribbled into the trees there,
yeah,
and was able to do a little up and under move a la Kevin McHale, and he got himself into some open space and then was able to get himself to the foul line.
Oh, beautiful. Second one is no good. A little battle towards the Westwood bench. Going to be a Wolverine ball. It was a battle between Liriano Alejandro and Ronan Sullivan.
And Ronan ended up in the lap of Mirage.
We've seen that on both ends. Robert jumped over the DS bench earlier. And that one was closer to some contact there as Chalongwa under the hoop. Kicks it out to Pendel. Over to Rodman, back low to Ortiz. Ortiz dribbling it in and then sends it right back out top. So Wolverine's gonna reset. Robert, back up top. Pendel fakes the shot, then works it in, shoots it, makes it. Nice fake there by Pendel. Puts the Wolverines back up 7. And out of bounds. Westwood thought it was gonna be out on DS, but it's DS gonna maintain the possession.
How about Ryan having faith in Robert to stay on the court with 3 fouls,
yeah,
be aware of how many fouls he has, and play smart defense here.
Oh, Robert's been playing a lot of years for him, and those two cannot be any more intertwined of being on the same page. And one thing I wanted to mention too, Tom, is when we were doing the season preview, Coach St. Martin's been away from the program for quite some time, but Coach Douglas really wanted to emphasize how much he learned from him and how much of his presence is still amongst the Wolverine walls and how he coaches his style, accountability, hard work, toughness. Those are all things that were instilled in Coach Douglas, who he continues to instill in his players.
Big
block right
Leo.
there. Chalongwa out of bounds, Westwood ball. Great block by Leo as he continues to do it on both ends of the court. Now Leo, so darn athletic. You know, he plays soccer in the fall. Obviously basketball here in the winter. We got to get him into doing a spring sport, especially senior year, and that is good for 3. And an immediate timeout called.
Yep.
So the 3 puts the Wolverines up 10, and we're going to get a timeout called on DS.
You know, I was just about to say, right, easy 2020 hindsight. that it's such a critical stretch right here, because if you are able to hit a three, it becomes a 10-point game. Maybe you force a turnover. Yeah. Suddenly you're up either 12 or 13. Not surprised by the timeout call right here. But that, again, set up by the good defense and the Wolverines seizing momentum and hitting that big shot. And they're really just trying to hit them while they're down right now and open up this gap.
Yeah. Tom, Talia, one of my favorite things when we're at these games are the impromptu DJ Jay Risha when he gets the tunes going directly from the microphone to his phone. Luckily, he's learned how to turn the notification for his text message. He had audio going off last year during the national anthem. It was dogs barking, and someone taught him how to do silent mode. But he does this during the football. So he was doing it during the football game on Thanksgiving. He had a little bit of some 80s rock, which got me fired up.
DJ Jazzy J.
DJ Jazzy J. Class of '93 for the Wolverines. Super Bowl winner. And I think also Jay confirmed with me that I found his first ever game that he called on PA for Westwood football.
Oh, very cool.
In 1994. And DS right out of the break, right to the hoop.
Yep.
So, I mean, exactly what Talia was saying, where every time they've had a timeout or just, some time with their coach, they really come out with a well-drawn play and take it right to the hoop. That one just missed. And they're going to have the possession. So Wolverines let that one go out of bounds. And they're going to push it up court. Quinn Daly with Leo Chalangwa. Over to Weitzman. He's got Liriano on him. Going to push it back to Daly, looking inside. Liriano, Alejandro comes away with a nice steal. He's got a couple players he's working through off the glass. No good as DS has a guy up court. And that one is good for the layup. Chalangwa was closing in pretty quickly on that one, but nice layup there by Quinn Daly.
Thought we might have the LeBron block right there.
Yes.
The Tayshaun Prince against Reggie Miller.
Now, who's the one that blocked it with two hands? Was that Michael Jordan back in the day? Where
he just took the ball, just kind of like
yeah, he just caught it like, nice try. Like it was like, a Fisher-Price game. Pindell driving, no good. Weitzman, he's going to push it up court. Mariano, Liriano right in his face.
Critical stretch here for DS. They really got to capitalize, and there you go. Big shot for them.
Steven Saber.
From the corner.
He's been one of their studs.
Now it's a 5-point game, so that was critical by them, and now Dover-Sherborn's got to play some tight defense here to keep this game competitive.
Yeah, Dover-Sherborn within 5. Big basket for them to keep it close within arm's reach. Robert, in and out. Coming down with the board, Oliver Van Regen. Saber to the hoop. No, Pindell. He got up high to get that one as Rodman gonna push it. Back to Pindell, wide open behind the arc. No good off the side rim. DS ball.
That's a great fast break.
Oh, it's been a big break by the Wolverines. So hard to do going full speed, and you got people, right up in your, contested layups. Tough to do as you got your heart rate at 140 and you're going through traffic. It's Rodman working the offense. Alejandro cuts through 2 to the hoop. That's blocked, but gets his own rebound. And he's fouled. What an effort by Robert. And that is what you were saying earlier, Tom, is on missed shots. No woe is me. Still battles, gets his own rebound, then gets the foul, and he's going to shoot 2.
And all of this happening after his third foul. Think about that.
Yeah,
right.
Good
he gets
point.
the third foul early in this third quarter. Douglas decides to keep him in, and he's still exploded offensively. Without him out there on the court, we probably wouldn't have seen this flow of action as we've seen over the last 5 minutes.
It's a great point. First one good, second one is good. So where's Robert at now point-wise, Tom?
8, 11, 13.
13. Incredible. He does it consistently, game over game, and sometimes it's, you blink, you think he does it quietly sometimes as well, because he does everything. And we got a foul on the court. It was before any shot attempt, so no free throws, as it looks like the hockey team's coming in from their pasta dinner. I see Matty Nails Donovan, Nolan Lewis. Hit some big goals against Medfield. Oh, off the head of Robert. That's going to go out of bounds, but stays with Westwood.
What a story, the birthday game winner in overtime.
Yeah. He had a game winner last year, similar thing.
That's good.
Overtime coming down.
Got to be on the top 10 list.
Well, he was the player of the year last year for his overtime winner over Hopkinton. So, I mean, I have to imagine that's going to be a favorite. Pass down low to Pindell. He takes some contact, and he's going to go to the line. That looked like a hard foul. He's able to walk away with that, a football player.
How many times have we seen Ty play hard, get the rebounds, not necessarily always get the follow-up shots, but somehow he always ends up in like the 8 to 10 point range,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
always his finishing stat line.
Oh, I'll take that any game, and makes a second. What I love about it too is on some of those rebounds, he's not afraid to get the elbows, you know, to make sure that it's him and no one else getting that ball out of his hands. Wolverines up 8.
So to that end, Ty's at 5 points right now, so just keep track of that.
Yep.
You know, if he follows his typical
He's gotta get
average,
his
he's
8
got another
8 to
couple
10.
of buckets,
Yeah.
right?
And which is usually an interview. That earns an interview. And shot from the outside goes off the top rim, and there we go. Ty Pindell, another rebound to add to that list. He pushes it up to Zaneski. Zaneski working it in. Back to Ty. There's Robert directing traffic. Going into the paint, off the glass. There's a foul called, and he will get 2 free throw attempts. And, you know, as you say, Ty getting his 8 to 10. Robert's starting to creep towards his 15 to 16. You know, he could put 30 up if he wanted to, too, but he's a team player. You know, he will always pass the open look.
It's just a different dynamic year to year, and it's not like he couldn't score last year. It just wasn't needed at the same level as it's needed right now early in the season. You know, we're still only 3 games in. We don't know what we're really going to get from some of these other guys that are out on the court. What are we going to get from Lipton? What are we going to get from McGowan? What are we going to get from Zaneski? I don't know. I don't think the coach knows yet. So in these circumstances, that's when he leans on Robert and says, we need you to score.
So James McGowan, one of the most decorated players to come through Westwood in basketball. Tom, I don't know if you got a chance to see him over the years. I asked Coach Douglas about Rob. Where is he in the conversation? And he said he's absolutely scratching the surface when it comes to the James McGowans. And Robert is, you know, he's going to come close to 1,000 points this year. It certainly can be done. It's within reach. So something to keep an eye on. As picked off by DS. Daly working to the hoop. How did he stop on a dime and put away by Akram? I have no clue how Daly was able to stop like that and not be injured.
I thought he slipped.
He stopped, and all of a sudden his knee stayed put. But put away by Akram makes it an 8-point game.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, James is the last one whose name has gotten on that 1,000-point banner, correct?
Correct, yep. Liriano, nifty move behind the back, out to Zaneski, long, and McGowan with the bound. Liriano from downtown, off the front rim. Loose ball, foul. So, you know, speaking of 1,000 points.
Ryan wanted them to reset the shot clock right there.
Yeah.
Didn't hit the rim. He was calling for it, but the referees were on top of it. They didn't reset the shot clock.
Yeah.
So Westwood had to throw one up there. Now 4 seconds on the clock for Dover.
Yep, 3, 2, 1. Daly from the outside, no good. You had one of those games last year. Millis on a similar shot like that, which crazy, crazy ending. But after 3 quarters, Wolverines up 8, 38 to 30. But, you know, while we're on the topic of the 1,000 points, Kathy Delaney-Smith, first 1,000-point scorer in Massachusetts basketball history. Nancy Fabiano, we've talked about the Fabianos. We had Joe Fabiano, Jim Fabiano on for a podcast. They were also in touch articles for Westwood Living. Nancy Fabiano, the first 1,000-point scorer for girls basketball, but some great 1,000-point scores over the years. And I will tie this back because Wolverines are going to be playing Needham on December 30th. And the head coach of Needham, one Lindsay Hallian, the all-time points leader in Westwood basketball history, boys or girls. So pretty cool.
So Talia, do you have a real appreciation for this? I mean, do you go here, you moved here, you lived here, you grew up here? Did you understand the history and the legacy of so many great athletes coming through?
I mean, like, I guess. I mean, it's kind of hard because I don't do a Westwood sport. but I definitely like feel the energy now that I'm like going to all these games and like reporting on it for Westwood Living. I definitely feel the energy.
Yeah, no question about. As a student, you have a pulse closer to the athletes than we do. When you see your fellow students out there balling out or doing these brave things in front of big crowds, like how proud does that make you as a classmate to see like your friends or even just people you share math class with doing big things out there?
Yeah, definitely. It's inspirational to see these like college commitments too.
Yeah. Oh God.
Like they're going and they're gonna be really successful, and that just like I'm just sitting in math class with you. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean we were saying watching the national championship game last year, and the starting center went through the same hallways as all of us and knows what it's like to sit in 109 traffic.
Yeah.
Pretty cool to see on the national stage. Leonardo Alejandro to the hoop. Yes.
While we're just talking about that, to put a bow on it, I do want to point out, Talia did a great article. It was in the Gronkowski Edelman issue in September, next chapter. She did a great story that featured, Keelan McDonald, who we know and love as a great football player, great athlete, but who was the other young woman who you featured?
Alexis.
And tell us about Alexis.
She is an all-star, but like everywhere. But she is the Westwood representative for the teen pageants of Massachusetts. Like she was representing Westwood on the pageant stage, going for Miss Massachusetts team.
Yeah, that's impressive. That is, hey, it's not just sports. Westwood's doing a lot of big things at the next level.
And Morgan, this is literally the reason why I enjoy working with the students, because they do have that insight to the kids who walk the hall.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know her. And, I asked Talia to do a story. She goes, I got these two great kids to focus. One was a sports-centered, feature, but the other one was somebody who's doing something outside of sports.
Yeah.
So.
What's really cool is we only know the athletes like from what we see on the court, but then when we hear about them in the classroom, them in the community, and really get an understanding of them, the person, and like some of the really cool things they're doing off the court and off the, the playing fields, it really provides that three-dimensional perspective of them, which is awesome.
So thanks. Talia is one of our regular contributors. You can read her columns right now on westwood-living.com. The Wolverines View is typically where you will see her, and we appreciate it very much, T.
Chalangwa, as DS comes away with the ball. Chalangwa on the court injured, and we're going to get a whistle. We're going to go right to break, folks, so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I grew up right here in Islington, wearing the green and white for Westwood High. I wasn't the star quarterback or the Tri-Valley League MVP. I was the guy in the back of the room, learning from the best, filling in where my team needed me. And as a team, we won 2 Super Bowl championships. These years taught me that every role matters. The unsung heroes, the backups, the younger players, they complete the team. And that's the heart of Neroli. From the cooks, to the servers, to the dishwashers, we're a team, built on discipline, sacrifice, and trust, delivering authentic Italian dishes to our community. I'm proud to sponsor our hometown teams, not just the All-Stars, but every player grinding it out, because I've been there. Teamwork built me, it built Neroli, and it's building Islington. So come join us for dinner, and let's cheer on our teams together.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
So a free throw upcoming for DS as a foul was called on the Wolverines. Good news, though, folks. Leo Chalongo was able to get up and walk it off. He's on the bench right now. And talking with Paul Lilla. It was really great to see Paul Lilla back and talking about his Christmas holiday plans. And he's got a full lineup. Head down to Providence. He's going to be in Bedford. And great to see him back to being Paul Lilla.
Well, he missed it.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of fall athletes who missed him, too.
And second one, no good. Rebound for the Wolverines. As Robert Liriano Alejandro to the hoop, adding to his point totals. And he was looking to block that one, but held up, knowing it might be a potential foul. Well, what an impressive night for Robert Alejandro. And a timeout called by the Wolverines. Something they didn't like. They're going to talk things over as the Wolverines up 42-34 early here in the fourth quarter.
Different story from what we saw last year from Westwood, because there was a lot of up and down. You know, there were a lot of losses, and it got to a point where they were playing 500 basketball, and wow, did they turn it on towards the end of the season.
So it's a funny story you say that. So the buzzer beater game last year versus Norwood, we're doing an interview with Coach Douglas, and I said, do you know that if, with tonight's win, if you go out to Hopkinton and you win there, and then if you beat, you got to beat Dedham, and there was another team, there was a third team, you'll be tied for the TVL. And he goes, really? So he wasn't even thinking about it. He was just thinking about Norwood that night.
Head down, just trying to win the next game.
But there was also like, yeah, these are very difficult things to do. It's difficult to go into Hopkinton, the reigning defending TVL champ, to beat them in their barn. They got it done. It's also very difficult to beat Dedham. Dedham had like a late surge here to beat them. They got it done. But to do it the way they did was fantastic. And some great memories for those seniors to come away with TVL championship on their resume.
So we got an 8-point game here, 5:49 to play. I always am curious as to when the team who's trailing starts thinking three-pointer.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think teams make that transition to hucking up threes a bit too soon. We'll see what the approach is here for Dover when they get the ball back and how far down they'll be. Right now it's 8.
So we got Brady Lipton out there, which is a great sign. The confidence that Coach Douglas has in the senior. And there he is, down low, going to give it over to Pindell, who's open. Shot on the baseline is short. DS gets the big rebound as they look to cut into the Wolverines' 8-point lead. Coming down the stretch here at Bader Gymnasium. Daly driving in, Lipton doing a good job as he took away the lane. And Daly right back on Lipton. Shot is good from the outside, and that's exactly what Tom was saying, is at what point do you see the three? You see the three there, which cuts it within 5.
They'll live by the sword, die by the sword. If you hit it, suddenly you're right back in it. It's a 5-point game with 5 to play.
Wolverines working it around. Up top to Robert. Robert going to settle it down. Oh, it was a hard pass looking for Pindell. And just missed on that connection. It's going to be DS ball. So DS doing exactly what they were looking to do coming out of the timeout. Made a big 3 and then getting defensive stops.
To Talia's point, exactly right. They've been really solid coming out of the huddles.
Yeah. They certainly use those to their advantage. Allows them to get a breather too, but to add some strategy to it, they've maximized every opportunity. Weitzman off the front rim, Pindell on the bound. Four minutes, 25 remaining.
So the opposite of what I'm talking about is when a team plays what I like to call the prevent offense. You want to stay aggressive, and that's what you love to see. I want to see Westwood shooting the ball. I don't want them to slow down, take 20, 30 seconds off the shot clock.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you've been doing.
What I loved about that, Pindell, as he gets fouled, he's going to shoot 2. As I saw 3 Westwood players all trying to battle for it together. So if a Westwood player was going to lose it, he was going to lose it to another Westwood player. It was Pindell, Lipton, and Ortiz all battling for the rebound. First one, no good. We got Jaden Pillard in the building. Dressed very sharp.
Bet he's been busy baking.
He has. Great social media.
I got the everything bagels from Jaden.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up.
Got the focaccia for Thanksgiving. Outstanding. It was a hit. Like everyone was looking at me like I was like, you know, I was the MVP of Thanksgiving dinner just because of focaccia bread. Ooh. Is that out? It is out on DS. Westwood ball. Great effort there. I think Liriano Alejandro had something to do with that as he forced a kind of a panic pass by DS. So Westwood ball. Rodman working it inside. Picked by Lipton. Dishes to Ortiz. Ortiz was looking for Pindell. That's stolen, but loose. DS comes away with it. And then a foul by Robert, and that's going to be his 4th, I believe.
Westwood foul was on number 2, Robert.
Yes.
Amazing that he's been able to play as long as he's played without picking up a foul.
Now-
But he's basically gone a full quarter without any contact. So
Is it 5 at the high school level?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he's 1 foul away from being fouling out. As we have 3 minutes 42 remaining here. Girls basketball team filing in after their game. They were on the road tonight as Coach A.K. Joyce taking on her former team that she was coaching prior to Westwood.
a lot of games on both calendars to circle. You talked about that Needham game on the 30th.
Yeah.
Of course, this game was circled. The game against Norwood, because Kristen McDonald, of course,
Yes.
was AK's coach
Oh.
at Braintree. So a lot of emotion, a lot of emotional games.
Yeah. Just how you drop the schedule, right? I think it was all just luck. You know, that's kind of where the games were. Westwood with the ball and a 6-point lead. Rodman going back and forth to Ortiz. Inside, stolen by DS.
Oh, great.
Oh,
great
Liriano.
awareness.
What anticipation jumping in front of that. Pass goes out of bounds, but it's going to stay with DS. Now we're going to get a score update. Girls won 52-47. Let's go. Big win on the road for the Warriors, or the Wolverines. And then Rob draws the foul, going to go to the line. That is huge to add to the Wolverines' 6-point lead. So a big win for AK, Joyce, and the girls on the road in DS. Which I'd have to say, Tom, you know, they had the big win versus Holliston the other night. I wouldn't necessarily categorize this year as a rebuilding year for the girls. They certainly have some talent to be able to do some damage. Second attempt by Rob is good.
20 points right there.
Heck of a game so far for the senior captain, number 2, Bobby Buckets. Weitzman going to the hoop. That is short. Rodman gets the rebound. Pushing the pace. Kendall gonna pull up. That's short. Out of bounds, DS ball. Had a great rebound by Rodman. And some great defenses of the Wolverines. They're making it really difficult. No free buckets going to the net. The whistle and a foul on the court. Looks like it was on Lipton. That's his second foul. Here's his first foul for Lipton. So DS working it towards the hoop. In and out, and Robert comes away with it. He's got a player behind him, does a good job to slow down the pace and change his angles. Also smart, because you want to take some clock off the scoreboard. They're going to use as much time as they can going up against the shot clock. This is where you typically see those 3-point daggers. This is where we saw like the Julie Hogan off the glass last year, Tom. As the shot clock winds down while you're trying to kill clock. My money is that they're gonna shoot a 3.
Rodman.
Oh, in and out. Westwood gets the ball back in a fresh shot clock. Liriano Alejandro and a jump ball. He's able to get the rebound. The jump ball, it's gonna stay with Westwood.
Well, we got a little break here. It gives me a chance to point out and congratulate Brady Lipton, because he announced his intention to go to the University of Michigan.
Absolutely.
So great job by him getting in there early action and making that commitment.
Going to be a nice little rivalry with the Leiden family, Michigan and Michigan State. 2 great athletic schools in the Big Ten.
Both teams getting new football coaches.
Yes. What a move by Robert to the hoop. Graceful. Bobby Buckets. That was beautiful. Behind the back, saw the lane, and what a finish. Westwood up 9, 1 minute 42, and that is a blocking foul on Westwood. I think the bucket counts. And we'll get a 3-point play for Sam Weitzman, the senior. So it looks like it's before the bucket. I don't think they're going to count the bucket, so points still at 37 for DS.
No, they counted it.
Oh, they counted
Yep.
it, so they were quick. Whoever did, oh, now it's updated. So it's 6-point lead for the Wolverines. So Westwood 46, Dover 40, 1 minute 38 remaining. Rob's got 2 on him, able to get rid of it, finds Ortiz. Ortiz dishes off to Lipton. A little keep away going on now as Wolverines trying to maximize the possession. This is what Rob does very well too. His handle is amongst the best in the Tri-Valley League. We saw it on his layup, going behind the back and then driving, but he can keep it away as he's going to the hoop himself. And there's a, I'm going to call it travel. So travel.
Took a little stroll down the lane. All right, so a critical defensive possession here. 1:11 on the clock, a 6-point game. I would imagine DS is probably going to try to shoot a 3-pointer here and make it a 3-point game at this point. And if they miss, getting the rebound is imperative.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were going to want an open 3 too. So how do they work that up with some of the schemas? That shot is short, so that was a rush shot, but you know, they had to get something up in the air, and good rebound by the Wolverines. They have the ball and time on their hand. As we say in sports, Dover-Sherborn's got to beat Westwood and the clock right now. They're going to draw the foul. So Rodman going to shoot to add to Wolverines' total, while DS trying to get the ball back in their hands as quickly as they can. So no shooting yet, so that was team foul-wise. Is that only 2?
That's their third.
Their third, okay, so they need to foul 2 more before they're gonna look to foul quickly, which they do. And they're gonna need to do it one more time before Westwood will shoot and they can get the ball back in their hands. Unless they can steal it like DJ. Was DJ on the steal, or who had the steal?
Bird
Oh,
on the
Bird,
steal.
Bird on the steal. DJ on
Over
the
to
finish.
DJ.
Over to DJ. See, if they allowed cigars in here, I could probably get that with the voice. But that ain't happening anytime soon. Only on graduation day will you see a cigar.
That reference might be tonight's Back in My Day.
Back in it is. Stolen by DS, so they don't have to foul as they get the steal and points, and they're going to call a quick timeout. Ronan Sullivan gets the steal, gets the bucket, and gets DS to within 4.
Big steal by Sullivan there. And now, of course, the pressure's going to be on whoever gets the ball and gets fouled.
Yep.
This is where free throws become so imperative, so important. That's why you work on them every single practice. But the first step, you have to get the ball in, and then try to get the ball in to somebody who you can rely on from the foul line.
Now, from what I remember from, you know, just tryouts at Westwood High School, baseball, these are the type of things you'd work on baseball, where the first and third situations. I'd imagine basketball, the inbounds with 30 seconds left, with up 2. How do you get, you know, what are your plays? They probably have 3 or 4 that are drawn up. We'll see what Westwood comes out of the gate with here. Who's the personnel as well, you know, because I could see like a Lipton being the guy bringing it in and finding either Ortiz or Robert, but we'll see what they go with.
Now remember, whoever takes the ball out can go back and forth on the sideline, because it's following a shot. If it was a dead ball situation, they would not be allowed to move. But 35 seconds left to play.
Looks like Ortiz going to be on the inbound. And DS going man-on-man buddy system. DS is going to add the defender who was on Ortiz to help out with defending the pass. And the Wolverines get it in cleanly to Robert, but it's stolen. And do we have a travel on the court? We have a whistle. Yes, travel on DS. And the coach is beside himself. But a good call, tough call, but the right call to make right there. This is the other thing about these seats, Tom, is you can hear everything. So Westwood going to have the inbound again. Ortiz finds Pindell. Pindell to Rodman as the Wolverines killing some clock before any foul has happened. Pindell still moving it, and now is fouled with 22.
So let's go back to that previous play. What you have is 2 different officials, one looking at the coach, who's literally 5 feet away from the coach, one looking at the action, who's literally 5 feet away from the action. The official who's looking at the action overrules the official who's looking at the coach, because the official who's looking at the action had the travel in real time.
Yeah. And a shot by Pindell is good on the free throw. But I always have a respect for refs that make tough calls late in games like that. That are the right calls, because that's the right call to make.
Well, they were just both looking at one specific thing individually.
Yeah.
So they couldn't even talk to each other to help each other out.
Yeah. Second one is short. Yes, comes away with it. Looking to cut into the 5-point lead. 16 seconds. They're going to need to do it quickly. Shot from the outside. That is no good. Rebound. They're going to try it again. Second one no good. Robert comes down with it, and he is fouled immediately with 5 seconds. And he's going to look to put the game away on the free throw line as he gets 2 shots. As the Den starts to vocalize kind of the I'd say the victory offense, but for Den vernacular. First one is good. Where are we at, Tom, now? 21 for Rob?
23.
23, what a night. 24, 49, 42, 5 remaining. 3, 2, 1, no good on the basket, and the Wolverines gonna come away with a 49-42 win to go to 3-0 on the season, 3-0 in the Tri-Valley League, and what a way to go into the winter holiday undefeated with some good momentum and really starting to get their game going.
Great start for the season, 3-0 to get it going. Incredible promise from Liriano Alejandro, who we knew was talented, but for him to put up the numbers that he's put up in these first 3 games, leading the way in scoring in each of these first 3 games, gets me excited that this is going to be a fun year to watch.
My goodness, absolutely. Keep an eye on him, folks. As we mentioned, he is going to get closer and closer to 1,000 points. When you score 25 in a night, that's going to help out a lot. But that is going to do it here from Bader Gymnasium. Tom Lydon, Talia Reese, Evan Cardamino, I am Morgan Donahue, folks. Happy holidays. We'll see you all in the new year. Have a great night. Take care.